You know what? The streams were working out really well. Like, everything just kind of came together. I got Master Tier, and I was like, you know what? Let's go and learn some of the other Pokemon. Lucario's doing crazy things in lane. Let's see what that's all about. And then I really enjoyed Lucario more than I ever thought. I just got addicted to playing this character for hours, and then I got videos out of it, so I was able to make extra content, turned it into a guide. Hey, let's do this with some other Pokemon. Mr. Mime is fun, Greninja's fun. I'm playing characters that I didn't think I would enjoy, and I'm really loving them. The new patch, oh man, Crustle, Alolan Ninetales, Wigglytuff, after the buff, all these Pokemon are so fun to play, and some of them are even really good. I've also believed that Garchomp is just OP and always has been, regardless of some people, I think, really underrating it. But kind of a chore to play Garchomp. You know, I can understand why people don't like it. But if you have patience, it's still a really strong character, so I guess that's alright. And then Venusaur. It doesn't matter that they buff Venusaur. This Pokemon is awful to play and just took all the energy out of me. And I wanted to try Charizard as well because, hey, they buffed Charizard. Maybe he's... Nah. I got one game on Charizard, I had it in the stream, and then it killed all of my momentum, all of my energy. I didn't even want to stream anymore. I don't even like this idea. Like, at first I thought, wait, is every Pokemon actually really fun to play, and maybe even secretly strong because of it? No, Venusaur, Charizard, and even Garchomp to a degree took all that wind out of my sails. Which is why I wanted to do a tier list, not about how strong the Pokemon are, but how fun they are to play, because that just makes the difference. Like, if you're just having fun, losses don't feel as bad, maybe you also discover something you really like about the character, maybe find a new main, maybe just play better, because you're enjoying the game, and you want to keep playing, you want to keep having fun. Venusaur just made me lose all will to carry on, and it wasn't that great. So as you can see right here, we have Pokemon that are a blast to play, Pokemon that are still fun, Pokemon that are kind of fun, Pokemon that are a chore, but at least they're not unfun. Then we just have zero fun characters whatsoever, and then we have the darkest, most forbidden tier, negative fun, and that's Venusaur. Venusaur is negative fun to play. Even like landing a cool snipe or getting a Zapdos steal, like there's still no fun there. There's still nothing enjoyable because you don't do anything. It takes so long to get to level 13 to where you're actually casting multiple solar beams. So until then, you get to play the game once every 10 seconds, maybe, and you also have to get kicked in the head all lane. Like, there's just, it's not good. It's not a good character. Now, to a degree, the stronger a character is, the more fun you're going to have playing with it because it's setting you up for success. And you're not just getting destroyed the entire time, but it also goes both ways. There could be a really weak character that just has a fun, wacky, exciting kit that's at least enjoyable to play. That's not Venusaur. Nothing about the passive or moveset on Venusaur is engaging or interesting or enjoyable to play at all. It also goes the other way to where if like something is just so strong that's a chore to play, or it's just like, just really annoying. I think of Launchaphelios from League of Legends. There's nothing fun there. It's just an overtuned, overloaded kit that just has way too many shenanigans involved, and then that high big brain skill cap that not even like casters and professional players understand is what just carries it for being, like, that's the excuse for making it strong, that you get a reward for having all of this mental load on it. Also, characters like Yone and Set, I didn't find them fun. They just seemed like stupidly overtuned and overpowered and abusive for really just no reason compared to the existing paradigm of the game. So yeah, it could also go the other way, like Zed. I don't find Zed fun to play as, or any kind of character that makes you a meta slave as well. You guys probably understand what I'm talking about, and you can probably comment down below an example that you have personally. While you're there, don't forget to leave a like, share the video with your friends, subscribe, notification bell, all that YouTube stuff. And that's what I thought was going to happen with Lucario. I thought Lucario was like the heavy breathing, ultimate sweat, try-hard character, like, you're just so abusive, you gotta play it kind of thing. But no, there's actually some really cool stuff going on with Lucario, and as I played it, I was like, oh, I don't really like these technical things, you know, like, I've drawn these comparisons in League of Legends and stuff, and I don't really like it where I have to overly exert myself to make a character succeed. But no, Lucario feels pretty natural. Like, you do have to get the combos down, you do have to put some work in, it does have, like, a skill cap, but I also don't mean, like, oh, high skill cap immediately means unfun because there's too much to manage. No, Lucario's just fun. He's a blast to play and you can get away with a lot. Same thing with Greninja. This is what I mean. Like, as I was playing these characters, I'm like, oh, I thought these are just like the carry champions that are like meta slaving or, you know, sweating right now, and it's not gonna be cool. But like, yeah, all right. You know, Greninja, you gotta get, actually, maybe Greninja, like, Greninja's a blast. But if I had to put the pre-evolutions are unfun, which I guess balances out Greninja as a character into fun. Because, yeah, you gotta get wrecked for the first couple of levels. But, I mean, Frogadier's competent. And if you're level 6 for the Dreadnought fight, you can, like, influence that fight just enough. And then when you become a Greninja, oh, everything's really fun. Like, if you manage Smokescreen, like, yeah, you can get through level 5 to 7, and then you use Surf, and then you're planning, you're plotting, you're just hitting whoever's close, being just like a DPS check on everyone, and then, like, your team kind of follows up, Smokescreen in, you get an assassination, you get a Surf reset, you get another, like, it's really fun. Like, you gotta be plotting, you gotta be really tactical with it. You are frail, you are an AD carry, but you actually feel successful. You feel like you're having an impact on a fight pretty much no matter what you're doing. So that's a really cool thing about Greninja. And then, yeah, like Lucario, since you don't have any evolution troughs and you get all of your moves online pretty quickly, Lucario is just a blast to play. Now, I'm going to put Gengar at kind of fun for me personally, but I feel like Gengar mains were having fun. Maybe pre-nerf it was more of a chore because you have to pick Gengar and you just have to play Brain Dead. But it's like, yeah, I find Gengar kind of fun, even like post-nerf or even with like the buffs to all the other things. Land a Sludge Bomb, like, you're sitting there in the shadows, especially if like Gengar is one of your favorite Pokemon or you really want to roleplay it up. That's not like thing, is like a theme of a Pokemon. If it comes through, it's even more exciting in Pokemon Unite. I feel that with Lucario. I feel that with Greninja. Gengar, you're kind of hiding in the shadows and you get to feel your opponents lose all hope when that Sludge Bomb hits multiple people and Gengar's getting the resets and it's gonna hurt. And someone, if not everyone, is gonna get KO'd. So I mean, like, yeah, Gengar's got that to it. But again, then it's just like mash, Brain Dead, and then there's also a lot of pressure for you to make sure you get the Sludge Bomb and you get the resets. And now that people are like more aware of Gengar, now that there's more counterplay to Gengar, it's not as Brain Dead. And some people have fun in just Brain Dead slappage like that. Other people might find it kind of fun or, a little bit chory. But yeah, it's like, I find Gengar to be fun. Even the early game, like, you go into the jungle, you bypass all that, you hit level 7, and then there's nothing more exciting when you're like, all right, got my level 7 gank, someone's losing. It's just great to be Gengar right now. Mr. Mime, having a blast on Mr. Mime, mostly because the Unite move is so fun. Like, they made the Unite move just super fun. Like, you just bounce in there and then you dance around and shut down an entire team fight. And you maybe even just like KO someone off of just your roll. Like, you just sit on a Cinderace and you ruin their day. Or you come out of it, you hit it with a Confusion, they're gone. So like the Unite move is super duper fun, but also I find Barrier Mr. Mime to be a chore because then like you're like, all right, gotta really get the barrier, gotta make sure I confuse like 2 people into the wall or else I'm useless. But Guard Swap Mr. Mime, actually just a meme. Like, that's the great thing, and that's what I love about Mr. Mime. I've always seen the potential, Mr. Mime's always been A tier on my list and like S tier in the hands of a Mr. Mime master. Like, if you want to rewire your brain, if you want to dedicate everything into just only learning Mr. Mime, you might become a worse player overall. Like, you might like pick up Zeraora and just not be able to do anything because you only know Mr. Mime. But if you do that, you're a successful S tier. And I respect you for it. And you can see it in the way that Mr. Mime players express themselves in-game, because they're like, oh, I'm gonna troll you, and I'm going to get away with it, and I'm going to love every second of it. Like, you stroll up to someone, hit them with that guard swap, and you just, boom, confusion. 2/3 of their health gone. That damage on the stun is ridiculous. And then it's like, oh, yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing that until you lose. And then it's just really good. And also, I think Barrier Mr. Mime, again, like, those are good players as well. I just find, like, Barrier's clunky and slow to use. I think they might have, like, nerfed the cast time or, like, a lockout time from the beta to it. We'll see, like, how people are with, like, mobile insta placements. But I think there's still, like, a bit of lockout or something. Like, they made that clunky. But overall, like, if you just confuse someone and stun them into a wall or a barrier or a guard swap for half their health, no better feeling. You finish it off with the Unite move. I mean, even laning is fun for Mr. Mime while you're, like, getting into your abilities, because that punch is so hilarious. You're just going, like, slapping people around, then you just come up with that uppercut and whoop, boom! Knock up. And then you're just, oh, it's too much CC. It's an ugly Pokemon. It's super, super crazy. Snorlax is somewhere between fun and a blast, because you're not like a hard hyper giga carry, and there is some chore behind it. Like, if you pick Snorlax, you have to run to the middle Audino, you have to run to that Corphish, you need to secure, you kind of have to put yourself in some dangerous situations and hope your lane buddy helps you out, because you got to double stun, you got to sleep in the middle of a ton of DPS, you got to be getting flops on people, and you got to be making sure you're securing. So you have a lot of responsibility on Snorlax to really succeed on Snorlax, but then you're just having fun. You get that heavy slam knock up, that just changes entire games, and nothing is better than bullying people with the block. You catch someone in a corner with a block or against the wall, you get 2 people in there, they're not allowed to move, they're not allowed to play Pokemon. Snorlax is just fun. Like, you're also not too weak early on. Like I said, even though it's a bit of a chore in laning, like you're still strong. You're able to just KO opponents off of that. It's like, oh, big stun, big damage, sleep, now you're immune. Hey, cool, my ally did something. Oh, now now I'm level 6. Now we're having our truest, like, potential right now. And then things get crazy. Your Unite move is great for, like, disrupting at Zapdos or Dreadnought fights. Sometimes Snorlax gets the steal, but it's not, like, incredibly reliable. So, I mean, like, yeah, you don't have too much carry agency and autonomy, but you're just strong. And that means you're fun. Gardevoir. I find Gardevoir to be fun in theme. Like, Psyshock, oh my goodness. Psyshock is one of the most satisfying moves I've ever used in, like, any game ever, because you're just, like, you just cast it at range, go boom, 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 and then it's on you to move around at the range you have set. So it's just incredibly satisfying to use that Psyshock, but it's also hit and miss. You know, if you don't place it at the right spot, it's like, it's a little ugly. It doesn't feel super crazy. The Moonblast is super satisfying as well. Like, you Moonblast stun someone from off screen almost, and then like, oh, that lines up a team fight. That's a pick. So you have like a lot going on, but also what makes Gardevoir kind of fun to play. Like, you're fun in the late game, but that laning, man, Ralts doesn't do much. You're like Froakie. I think you're worse than Froakie, because at least Froakie can like auto attack himself out of situations, but you have an escape, so you're pretty much just like resigned to a very delicate, low damage, low impact laning phase, and then you eventually turn on. So that's not like super fun right there. And even then, like Gardevoir, there's also a lot of pressure on you where it's like, ooh, if I miss that future sight, or if I don't get 2 of these Psyshocks, or if I don't get that secure onto Zapdos or something, like if I miss my Unite move, like there's a lot of pressure on you to carry. So it isn't as fun. Whereas, like, yeah, with Greninja, you can make a couple of mistakes. Your smokescreen bails you out. You know, you're doing enough damage to where your team can at least follow up if you int too hard on that surf or something. But Gardevoir, it's like you're the significant damage profile as well. And if you falter, then that could be a lost fight or a lost game right there. But like fun, the pressure makes it kind of fun. Absol. Haven't played too much Absol. I want to do this video like after I played all the Pokemon, but again, Venusaur and Charizard were just so unfun. Just killed my excitement for the game so much that I just like, let's just make this video so I can talk about it. Absol seems kind of fun. Absol mains, tell me how you think it is being Absol, because I imagine it's a blast if you just run up into the lane and you get all the crits, like just all of them, you always crit, and then you're just one-shotting people. That's really cool, but also you kind of drop off in the late game. You know, you do have like this early-ish, mid-ish power fantasy where it's like, I just run in and someone's dying. Like, I'm the pure assassin in that way, and they're just gone. I could also see it being a little fun. I also think that maybe like some Absols, they really sweat it. They really get into that, like, oh, I'm the edgelord that's ready to take you out, Absol, let's go. You know, we got some stuff right there, but it's like, yeah, it just seems kind of. Also, when I was playing Absol for my beta gameplay, it was just so brain dead, where it's like, oh, you go Pursuit, and then everything auto-targets, and then you go Sucker Punch, and everything auto-targets, and it resets, and then Slap, oh, that's a crit, they're dead. So, I mean, like, seems a little automatic, doesn't seem like there's too much skill expression to make it a blast like Lucario, but then you got damage to back it up, and if you flop a crit, well, that's just RNG, that's why you died. Yeah, I see Absol being kind of fun. Garchomp, kind of fun as well, because you don't have, like, you don't come online as soon as Greninja, so you're not having as much fun as fast as Greninja. And your Unite move, again, like, Garchomp's A tier. Like, Garchomp is a really strong character, but it takes willpower to be good on Garchomp. Like, when you pop the Unite move, you're not having fun anymore. That's when the character becomes a chore, because, like, okay, deep breath. Okay, gotta make sure I land all these weird combo moves, but then you do it, then you just pop off. Also, you get a scoop, and then you Dragon Claw, and then you're getting, like, auto attack charges, and then you're just, like, hyper just slapping people, and if they group up on you, that's even better, because your AoE damage and healing is insane. It's like, yeah, like, you can have some kind of crazy power fantasy on the Garchomp. Maybe slightly undertuned. I think they did nerf him. Like, I'd put Garchomp definitely at fun. It seems a little nerfed from beta, but definitely playable, definitely A tier, definitely good. And kind of fun, and when you finally get there, like, Gibble's actually surprisingly strong too, and when you finally hit level 7, you're feeling it, and then you get to Garchomp, and then everything kind of comes together, so kind of an interesting character, but at least kind of fun. You know, Garchomp's kind of fun, then you pop off, and then it's all good. But Crustle is a blast, because you shell, like, again, Crustle plays like Mr. Mime, and you're allowed to get away with it. That's also the difference between an unfun character and a fun character. Mr. Mime is able to get in there and ruin someone's day. Same thing for Crustle. Crustle shell smashes, it becomes the highest damage, somehow still the tankiest, fastest character in the game. It runs through a team and then exorcises them into like your team or into a wall or just KOs like 2 people by itself or uses its Unite move and becomes invincible. Everything, like Crustle's just absurd. And I've shown what you can get away with it, and it crits! It can crit! So then there's also nothing more satisfying than it's like, X Scissor, crit last hit, oh, they're just gone. Or you hit multiple people inside of that. That's how you need to play Crustle. If you want to succeed on Crustle, you can't be an insecure player. You need to just go at them. You just need to play to only ruin their day, and then the inherent strength of Crustle. Also, you still need some skill. You gotta back that up with good game sense and also understanding how to play the game, but Crustle gives you enough tools to work with to where it's like, if I only play to make them hate themselves, like you need to play with the intent to bully people so hard that they log off for the night. That is Crustle, and it's crazy. Talonflame. Talonflame seems unfun to me. Maybe with the buff, it's more of a chore right now. But like Talonflame, you know, I've seen people seem like they're exciting on Talonflame or they're having a decent amount of time. But nothing about Talonflame really like came off as fun to me. It's like, oh, I got all this crazy mobility, and I get to fly around, and I get to land on people. But no, at the very least, it's a chore because you have to, you know, fly into Zapdos for the steal or something. Your Night move is awkward, and I think it kind of kills the power fantasy, or when like you're in there comboing and trying to fight it out. Still not great at team fighting. I think like when the meta shifts, maybe Talonflame will be kind of fun, if not straight up fun, where it's like, ooh, now I live to backdoor. Now I live to ruin people's days. But you don't get to do that. You don't get to do what you need or want to do on Talonflame. Still kind of weak on the ganking, so there's also like a lot of pressure, even if like you're in the jungle, where it's like, gotta do this, gotta set up that, gotta get to this, and then when I finally evolve, and then I can do that, and now I'm kind of having fun, but it's still kind of a chore because I got a lot of pressure on me to do the right things, but I'm still not as strong as like Zero or a Gengar or even Absol, so, you know, like Talonflame, maybe when I play Talonflame, I'll discover something inside of it, but as it stands right now, Talonflame doesn't really seem super fun. Charizard, though. Charizard is zero fun. That was the stream ender for me. Like, maybe I was extra tilted because Venusaur is just so awful and unsatisfying to play. But Charizard is also the same thing. Even after the buff, I would put maybe even Charizard like negative fun to play personally. But I think there's people out, like there's Charizard mains out there. There's people that deliberately choose Charizard because they find some kind of enjoyment in the character. But your landing is so slow and so weak, and the auto attack range is so small, and like it's so little damage. Like it's little small instances of damage. So you're not getting this big power fantasy where it's just like, boom, chunked them on my auto attack, or boom, chunked them with an ability. It's all just damage over time, slow burn, stacking kind of stuff, which one doesn't fit in the meta or against like all of these other characters that are just much higher tier than Charizard. And even that's like, oh, Flamethrower buff didn't really do too much. Oh, Fire Blast buff didn't really do too much. And then like your Unite move's cool. Your Unite move's a pop off. You use your Unite move and you just rain crit fire and actually like literally melt people. And then you get to do a really cool seismic toss at the end that had a lot of care put into the animation because they really want to represent Pokemon lore. Still not fun. Still not fun to do all of those things or get there. So yeah, maybe not absolutely negative fun like Venusaur, but it's just like not having any fun. It's Charizard, zero fun. Zeraora. I'm gonna put Zeraora at fun. Not a complete blast because, like, I think if you have too much fun on Zeraora, you start inting and then you don't have a lot of fun. Like, you can't only always go into a team, discharge, and kill people. It doesn't work like that every single time. So you need to be a bit more reserved. You still need to, like, focus on the right way to scale into the game. But then when you're there, you're having fun, and then you're just popping people, and then you're just ridiculous. I don't know how this character didn't get nerfed, but now Zeraora is still a fun character. I find Cinderace to be a chore, but also fun, because you're just kicking around people, and you know you're destroying people. Like, that's what makes Cinderace fun, but also you are the big carry threat. Everything rests on you to make sure you're just annihilating people. But you have so much range, it's kind of safe. I don't think it's as fun as Greninja, because Greninja gets to do it once. Cinderace has to do what Cinderace has to do. And if you falter at that, you're either going to get KO'd, or you're dropping some serious damage in the team fight, or you're just like, you're hindering your gameplay and you're hindering your team, which that's not fun. That doesn't feel fun. But yeah, like, however, if you're like super far ahead on Cinderace, you're having a blast, because then you can run up to anyone, blaze kick them, and then whatever. But you also have to be timing things. You have to be timing their cooldowns. You have to know when to use feint right. You still have to like balance your passives and make sure you're getting everything right. So yeah, it's like there's a lot going on with Cinderace, but at least it's just strong enough to where no matter what's happening with Cinderace, you're having fun. You know, pretty cool like that. Eldegoss. Big chore Pokemon. Like, I'm not even putting it like, oh, all supports are chores because you're just dead. Like, it's like every other game where it's like, oh boy, I'm Mercy in Overwatch, you know, I'm just like stuck to someone else, what a chore. I mean, people find joy and enjoyment inside of that. Same thing with League of Legends, where it's like, bot lane support. My job is just make sure that this idiot over here doesn't die. But I mean, like, Eldegoss is an absolute chore. Just, I don't understand how anyone wants to play Eldegoss except to win. Like, Eldegoss mains are just like, very one-track mind, very set on doing things, very deliberate. You're forced to run Buddy Barrier. You're forced to just kind of amplify power and set up heals and shields and stuff. I have seen some Eldegoss players, like, if you're jungle Eldegoss, you're having fun. And if you're also doing, like, Leaf Tornado Eldegoss, you're having fun. But if you wanted to, like, actually just abuse Eldegoss for composition, that doesn't sound fun to me. That just sounds like a chore. And even, like, autonomy, like solo queue, trying to have some kind of agency Eldegoss. It doesn't seem fun. You're picking Eldegoss because you're trying to abuse the healing that is only existent in Eldegoss in the game right now, and that just seems like a chore. And you're also going to be weak for a while. And also, you don't really do too much until you evolve, and even when you evolve, you're just sitting under gold, like shielding and healing and sustaining and just kind of blocking people out. Like, to some characters and some playstyles, like stuffing people out is really fun because you're just ruining them. No, with Eldegoss. Eldegoss is just a chore to play. Now, we get to talk about CRAM Rant. What does the #1 CRAM Rant player have to say about how fun CRAM Rant is to play? Like, he must be a blast, right? Because I'm the best CRAM Rant, that's my main, so yeah, like, why not pick a character that's always exciting to play? Nah, CRAM Rant's just kind of fun. I mostly picked CRAM Rant because I saw, like, this character that everyone was looking down on, this weird meme tier character that everyone was playing wrong because they're like, yo, it's air slash, yo, it's dive. I want to redefine the game on this Pokemon and turn it into more of a carry than it really is. But the reason why it's kind of fun is because you have a lot of pressure. It's kind of like Snorlax, but Snorlax has a lot more, like, fun stuff inside its kit. There's a lot of pressure on you. Like, if you miss a Hurricane, either solo or in a team fight, you're having a bad time. If you don't get the right scoop on a Surf, you're having bad time. So you need to have mechanics. You need to have good aim, you need to have good prediction, and also you need to steal the opponent's soul in lane with that Whirlpool. And now that Whirlpool's nerfed, not as great. Even before the Whirlpool nerf, like, CRAM Rant was still kind of fun. So I'm like, oh man, CRAM Rant was fun, but then that pesky nerf came in and just made him kind of fun. No. Like, you always had to be like, alright, I need to put my Whirlpool now, and I need to put it there, and I need to do this, and then I steal it. Good. I just need to do that 10 more times before Dreadnought spawns. You know, there is, like, a lot of macro weight on you to do that, and you know, to a degree, it can be a chore, but then, like, you just pop off on your Unite move, or you get so much more satisfaction out of, like, hurricaning 2 people and following up on the Surf, and then your team just dives on them, and then, like, you win the team fight because of that perfect Hurricane, that perfect Surf, you know, just locking out their carries and setting up your team for success while also doing a lot of damage. You don't have, like, gibbing levels of damage. You're not like Lucario, where you just run into people and they're gone, or Greninja, or Zeraora, or Garchomp, or all these other Pokemon. So it's like, you don't just get to delete people. You get to really hurt them, and you get to really set things up. That also leads to a lot of downtime. That also leads to a lot of not really fun moments. So CRAM Rant, just kind of fun. Pikachu, though. I'm gonna say Pikachu's fun because you're just out there just zapping people from long range, doing ridiculous things that converts into a lot of damage. And also your cooldowns are short enough to where you are an artillery mage. You're just out there like, boom, get wrecked on Electro Ball. Boom, get Thunderbolted. Oh, what's that? You're on me? Nah, I got my Unite move. I'm out, and I'm gonna be zapping everyone. Oh, my cooldowns are back. So, I mean, like, if you just like playing in the back, raining down damage on people, and having more CC than you have any right to, and then you also have some pretty comfy landing, like, yeah, getting ganked or flanked or, like, just, like, popped in the back doesn't really feel that great, but everyone is kind of susceptible to that in some kind of way. Pikachu, like, you're just casting non-stop, and you're just putting the hurt on people, and then the more ahead you get, the better it feels. So yeah, Pikachu, pretty fun character. Ninetales is just a blast, though. Like, Ninetales is the better Pikachu right now. Ninetales does everything Pikachu does, but better. More damage, more safety, more crowd control, And you just really need to do it with that Aurora Veil, though. Like, you sit in that Aurora Veil, you pick off at people, you get them frozen, Dazzling Gleam, crazy amount of damage, crazy wide area of CC, hit them, freeze them, wait for cooldowns, and then you're just always going off and having fun. And then your abilities are just too good. Icy Wind should not have 2 hits that stack into your that's absurd. So you go Icy Wind to get them off of you, Powdered Snow, which like also all the abilities have a long range. So you get to just oppress people, and you can either use it to set up KOs or get a counter KO because someone gets in on you while you Icy Wind them away, him Powdered Snow, him with a passive proc, they're frozen, and then you just kind of keep on them, and then you get another ability rotation, and like, it's just stupid. Everything about the character is stupid, but it's like that fun kind of stupid where you just get in there and you wreck people and you just change the game. So yeah, like, you know, you're just a more fun Pikachu, and that only puts you in a blast. Now, if you've seen me enjoy Wigglytuff, I would have it at a blast. The problem is, much like Zeraora, if you're having too much fun with Wigglytuff, you can start throwing very easily, and you're supposed to be a support. Defender at best. You're not a carry. Even though you can have like some kind of carry pop-off moments, eventually you drop off. Or eventually you get too full of yourself, and there's not really much you can do about it. Like, oh man, I ran up, I slapped someone, bounced off a wall, slapped him again. Sometimes that's not enough to KO. Sometimes the rest of the team shows up. Stop having fun there. It's not like some Pokemon where it's like, oh, their entire team showed up? Challenge accepted. Wigglytuff, you're like, ooh, I'm in danger. That's not good, you know. So you got like you can get over your head, which makes it a bit less fun on the tough. But after the buffs, you're able to do whatever you want a bit more now. And yeah, you're not also like hard hyper carrying games. You're just having fun. You're just out there having fun, and Wigglytuff's a very fun character like that. Slowbro, I'm just gonna have Slowbro at 0 fun. It's like, but I telekinesis them, and I just like ruin that carry's day, and that's why we won the fight. Or you know, him with the slow beam or the surf. You're just a crowd control slave, and not the fun kind. Snorlax is a fun crowd control slave. Mr. Mime, Crustle, because you're actually doing things. Slowbro's job is to try to soak as much damage, which works less and less the higher and higher in rank you go. And even it's like, oh, I'm a distraction, I'm over here. You don't do anything. You just get to be a distraction, take damage, at least kind of refuse to die. Maybe like get one person caught out. I mean, why telekinesis someone on Slowbro when you could just go guard swap confusion Mr. Mime, CC them, keep them out of the fight, do 2/3 of their health, and then have a much better Unite move that locks down the entire team instead of just one person on Slowbro. And also your laning is absolutely miserable on the Slowbro. But at least like it is fun to have a Malzahar ult, and then another Malzahar ult, and then a Surf that's also like a multi-chain knockup. Like, there's fun things inside the kit, but Slowbro is just bad as a character, and it at least has a fun kit. So it's one of those things where like, well-designed kit, doesn't really plan out, just get ignored and do nothing and feel kind of whatever. But that kind of balances out the negative fun aspects of getting punted as a Slowpoke, so not fun, but just kind of whatever character. And then that brings us to Machamp, who is just a blast to play. Because you're not really that weak for long, and even then, I've seen like Machop tear up lanes. Like, you run in with Bulk Up on Machop, and you're still being successful, and then you hit level 5. And I think the most fun I've ever seen anyone have playing Pokemon Unite was a jungle Machoke that just, the second he hit level 5, he just came out and ganked. Just submission, flash in, yoink you, that's KO. So I mean, like, if you play like that, if you just play as a disrespectful beater, I don't want to say the word that precedes that because YouTube's a little too sensitive these days, but you just go in and slap fools. If you just play to run in and ruin people's day and then just obliterate them and then use your Unite move to do that even crazier. Like, you just get to choose one person to go, you, and then you just, and you just ruin them. It's so cool. It's so crazy on Machamp. And the better you get on Machamp, the less you have like any kind of power troughs, or the less you feel like you can get bullied, abused, and poked out. You just like, when you understand limits of that character, there's nothing you can't do on Machamp. Again, if you're going to choose one person and ruin their day, why are you playing Slowbro and not Machamp? Because then you actually just get to beat on them. You just get to live out whatever brutish, primal fantasy that you can't enact in real life onto any person that you want. And that's Machamp. And you got 4 arms to do it with, so that's even cooler. So I mean, like, that's the thing about Machamp. Like, oh, just primal Chad right there, dude. You just go savage on people. And that can be pretty exciting inside of games. Also, after consideration, oh, deleting the row actually just straight up deleted Talonflame. Oops. I was gonna say, like, now that I'm looking at this, well, Chore and Unfun are kind of the same thing, I guess. I want to put Talonflame into Chore, but Talonflame's gone. That's kind of the idea. And also, as you can see, most of the characters are fun. You know, I see like the kind of fun things where it's like, yo, if you get into the main mentality on these characters and you like really get into it, you can have fun on them. But like a blast, you just pick up these characters, you just start having fun. These fun characters, you just pick them up and you just start having fun. And then these characters, they're bad and they make you feel bad for playing them, and they're just bad and it's not fun to play. And they're so unfun. It's like the inspiration for this video. Like maybe Absol drops down to chore if I play it, Talonflame is a chore. I mean, like all these other characters, I either look forward to playing them, I want to play them more, or it's just not like the end of the world or the worst thing ever. So, you know, we have good representation. I think that like a lot of the characters are satisfyingly strong. I like it in a game where everything is broken and everything just feels really good, and that's what we can see right here. You know, a lot of Pokemon just have fun move sets. A lot of Pokemon just have like fun play styles and stuff, and you can just kind of do a lot of wacky things and not feel too bad about it. And then if you lose because they were just better than you or out compositioned or you just had idiots on your team, it's only 10 minutes. Next, gonna have some fun again. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.